Hello everyone, this is my reaction video to yesterday's ISC doing time. And to be honest, for me this wasn't exactly the most interesting episode. So we were talking about reactivating Korea as a PvP hotspot, which was a PvP hotspot before we got all those new planets. And they were talking about having NPC prisoners in the prison. While I agree that prisons are rather empty, I don't think putting brain-dead NPCs there is any good for immersion purposes. I would rather wait until CIG has some decent AI.
Back in its heyday, Korea used to be this big central hub for PvP,
which has multiple entrances and exits and is just perfect for that kind of gameplay.
Pause. Small clarification. Back in the days we had, I think, 25 players on each server, and there wasn't a lot to do. If you wanted to do PvP, you went to Korea, but even there, most of the time you didn't find PvP. It all depended on your luck.
However, now, if you approach Korea, you're going to immediately notice Crusader has moved in at this point.
They're going to be using this facility as it was intended. And the way they're doing this, and we're doing this to hopefully entice PvP at this location, is we're firstly beefing up the exterior security of Korea.
You will be met with new online turrets that will not be too happy with you arriving.
It's now going to be even harder for people to approach and land. When you get there to land, you might find some enemies on the landing pad to thwart your infiltration of Korea. When you're inside Korea, there'll be Crusader security all around that you'll have to take out if you want to use that station. After killing a few of them, a security chief will spawn.
Now, if you take this guy down and you look around, he will have a security code on him.
You can take his datapad off, operate his terminal, and then start this contraband dispenser.
It's a device that goes into Korea's storage facility and pulls up contraband that was deposited by the law enforcement.
And the great thing about that is obviously we've got some highly valuable drugs in the game. We're making even more highly prohibited and expensive goods, as well as scrap. Just we'll throw some worthless rubbish in there, so it's an absolute gamble. So currently in prison there are 4 ways to get out. You can wait, you can mine, you can escape, and finally we added a mission where you can go and repair things for Gleischer, and they'll give you merits for doing so.
The prison caves in particular can feel like quite a lonely place. You know, they're very dark, very damp. The likelihood of running into players is not particularly high, especially because there's 3 different routes.
So straight out of the gate, the first thing we're investigating is NPC prisoners in the caves.
Pause. I don't understand why CIG is putting NPCs everywhere. To make this perfectly clear, in other games I like NPCs that are lively and you care about. Not so much in Star Citizen. NPC AI is still very, very bad. Now some people might say it's because servers have too much to do, we have to wait for server meshing. If this is true, why not wait for server meshing so you can give her some decent NPC AI instead of having brain-dead robots that are very immersive breaking.
In a certain depth, in a certain cave, we're adding what is known as a black spot, where outside entities can contact you and ask you to do work inside of the prison.
In doing so, they will be rewarded very handsomely.
This was my reaction video to yesterday's ISC. I hope you found it interesting and see you next time. Bye. Auf Wiedersehen. Hey, this guy is very interested in his new shield generator. Find anything interesting? Is it the good stuff? Hey, you're still here. You might want to join me on Twitter. My Twitter account is Camural_SC.